Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. It's Kaghoe coming at you with another video. So today we're going to be talking about why the Scarlet Enclave raid is extremely important, and I'm definitely going to dive into that in just a moment. But first off, I want to thank you guys for all the support these past couple weeks. Well, to me, it's just continuing my normal day-to-day making videos, talking about Son and what I enjoy. The Phase 7 content has really been doing phenomenal, and all the positive support and comments from you guys has been extremely amazing. And we're actually about to hit 14,000 subscribers, which isn't like any crazy milestone or anything, but it's always cool to see that next 1,000 go up and onward. So I just want to thank you guys so much for all the support, and I genuinely appreciate it. It means a lot to me. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So the Scarlet Enclave is such an important raid because it is the first new, like 100% new authentic raid in Scarlet, or in Classic WoW. While yes, we had the reskins with the level up raids of BFD and Omegon Sunken Temple, and having done them on Anniversary compared to what they were in SOD, it was actually so different. It's such an enjoyable experience that I don't think we really appreciated it when the time was. A lot of negative comments were, oh, it's just a reskin, it's not actually new. But if you go and do those raids on Anniversary, or dungeons is what they are there, but when you go and do them there, and then you come here to Sunken Temple, or not just Sunken Temple, but you come here to SOD and do all three of them, you can see so many differences and changes, and it really was quite amazing. So I just wanted to, take a little time to appreciate those. And then we also got the new SOD twist to the current in-game, and while the gear and the encounters were very different and amazing, it was still always that, oh, it's just reused content that people always go to because it doesn't have a new name or an actual new zone to go into. And people get all upset. So the very first iteration that we got of new content was Demonfall Canyon, and that was really cool. It was a brand new dungeon. We got to go in there. We got to do brand new encounters. The only thing that wasn't new is that it is the overworld of Ashenvale, but it was still really cool to see them build upon that tech. And I think having a successful launch of Demonfall Canyon and how well it was received gave us the idea to actually dive into a Karazhan Crypts, and in 2 days we will get to finally go in there and experience a real new dungeon with actual setting. Like, it's going to be so cool. And then on top of that, we will ultimately end with the Scarlet Enclave raid. Now, it has not officially been confirmed that it is a raid, but everything I've seen from data mine sources, as well as just the aesthetic of it, what they're going with it, and everything I have seen, makes me heavily believe it is a raid. There was a very early data mined article from Wowhead that said that it has an ID instance that supports 40 players, which is the exact same thing that we have seen for all the other people. So if it's not a raid, I'll be extremely disappointed, but I will still go in there and enjoy the content all the same. But what is so impressive about the Scarlet Enclave and what makes it so unique is when we look at like Demonfall Canyon and Karazhan Crypts as their two attempts of new content, that all was in the game. Like, those places exist in Classic WoW already, even Karazhan Crypts, from what we have seen and I have showed in the video. Now, we have so many places like that do exist and are accessible, like in Tenaris, you have Caverns of Time. You can go into Caverns of Time and it is exactly, not exactly the same, but it looks like an unfinished version of what we see in TBC and future expansions. I mean, like, Oldham is here, but there's nothing down there. It's just a gate that says Oldham on it. But Hyjal is the biggest one. Like, Hyjal is a zone that you can go to, and the World Warper Trinket from Nomergon actually will take you there if you get lucky and hit it. But Hyjal is one of those zones that is actually in the game and something they could do stuff with. So those are always the leading two things for them to expand on here in SOD, is Hyjal and Caverns of Time, because they actually exist. But Scarlet Enclave does not exist. This does not come into the game until Wrath of the Lich King with the DK starter zone, and I believe you can't even go over there in Wrath. If someone has played Wrath recently, I can't go out there and test it because I don't have a Wrath server ready to go. But I know it's the DK starting area, and that's where it originally comes from, but I do not think you can access it until Cataclysm. Like, it's not an actual playable area in the zone, and so that is probably the single biggest, most important thing that they can do is the ability to add either future zones or brand new zones to the game. Yes, I am aware that Scarlet Enclave is from the future, but it is not normally organically in the classic client like Caverns of Time or Mount Hyjal. And if anyone has anything to prove me otherwise, definitely let me know and drop it down below, because I would really love to know that fact. But from everything I have seen, it does not exist, and that unlocks unlimited potential, because that allows them to maybe, what's up here, Quell the Lost. Maybe they, we take this path and we go into the Ghostlands and we have ZA and we have a different take on the Ghostlands and what it is there. They don't even have to give us Silvermoon City and Blood Elves and all that. We can just go into the Ghostlands and they could be, Blood Elves could be hostile there because they hate outsiders and they haven't joined the Horde yet. It just is a new zone, new area. They could do a completely different spin on Quell the Lost that involves Arthas, Lich King, even going further than what we did. We could go to a Northrend or Outlands that are Warcraft 3 based, and we could use the entry zone of, we could use a classic just Ice Crown, because this is Northrend right here in the classic game. It's 4 little islands. It's not the massive continent that it becomes in Wrath of the Lich King, which is always funny to me and cool to see it that way. And then another one, a huge one that could very, very quickly be added, is Gilneas. So, we have the gate, we have all the stuff here. If you've ever leveled an undead, all the story is there, the Worgens are there, SFK is there, and you can even go, around Gilneas, and you can see that there's mountains, and it was, an area that they were thinking about doing stuff with, and they just never got around to do it. So, Gilneas, you can take that straight up from Kaghoe, and you can add it right in there, just like they're doing with Scarlet Enclave, and you can have additional new content. Honestly, if I were to do, if I were dev and I added that in there, I would make it like a PvP zone. It'd be kind of cool to see a battle for Gilneas, like we do see. That's pretty much all it is a giant war until as of recently. They brought it in Kaghoe, and it just was kind of like a battleground area in a war after the Worgen start zone. But you really could make this into something fun and exciting, and it's already there. Twilight Highlands, Grimbatol, you can do stuff with that as well. You have the 60 dragons here for Horde Onyxia attunement, and you just, there's just so much possibility. And, I really think that if we have a future of SOD, which the vibe I'm getting from the dev team is that we are, they don't know where to go next. They've said Phase 7 is, people on their roadmap, Phase 7 was the end. But then we're getting Scarlet Enclave, right? And Scarlet Enclave looking like a new raid, new tier, new everything. It's looking like they have a future for us. And the only thing that they have officially said is that our characters are not being deleted. So we have a home somewhere, whether that is a SOD era, whether we merge with the Anniversary TBC servers, whether we continue. I've talked a lot about this in other videos of our future. But the fact that they're adding Scarlet Enclave gives me that hope that they are going to continue to do stuff, that they have the ability to at least do it, because we're getting Scarlet Enclave added. It is a new zone being added to the game. It is added into the classic client, and that is something that is a first for everything that they've done in all of SOD and the entire classic project. Everything else has just sort of been tweaks, changes. I guess the only other new thing that pops into my mind is actually Chrono Boons. That was one of the most new things that they've ever added, really, until Season of Discovery with all the runes and abilities. So just seeing them be able to add an entirely new zone to the game, and whatever it unfolds, I think is really amazing, and we're blessed to be living in a world where we're going to see new content added to Classic, and it just has me so excited. It has my mind wandering, as you can see from talking about all the possible futures of content that they could add. And, if I were a dev, I would love SOD. SOD's literally like a dev playground. It's a dream. You can do essentially anything you want. You have the ability, obviously they're tied by a corporation, but they have that ability to go out there and make new content. and let us try it and see. And obviously the end goal of all that is hopefully a Classic Plus later down the road, but with them relaunching Anniversary and it being on at least a year and a half away, we don't have another season now announced, so might as well let us continue solid, keep playing it, keep adding new stuff, and keep enjoying what there is with that, because there is so much potential with Season of Discovery, and I think that is what drives most of the player base to keep going. So obviously I would love anything official from them, but time will tell what we see. But this is just my thoughts, opinions on why the Scarlet Enclave raid is so important, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, anything you'd like to add, definitely drop it down below, because I'm super excited for this and I can't wait to see what the future has in store. So anyway, have a great day. Bye-bye.
Hey you. Yes you. Are you still there? Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this entire video and making it to the end here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out the other videos about World of Warcraft listed in these playlists down below. And thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.